Hello children, we are going to start a topic called as circles, right? You must have done in your elementary classes prior to this, topics like straight lines, pair of straight lines, or you can say coordinate geometry. Now you come to the advanced section, advanced part, wherein which you deal with the concept of circles. Now before we go to the concept and try to understand what the equation of circle is all about, let me just explain to you what is the definition of a circle. Alright, so let me say what is the definition of a circle, right? It is the locus of all points, it is the locus of all points which are at fixed distance, from a fixed point. Fixed distance from a fixed point, right? Locus is nothing but what? Join of. Locus is nothing but join, right? So let me explain to you. If there is a fixed point and around this fixed point I have infinite points, I am drawing these infinite points around this fixed point. Now, if I start collecting this point, right, and if I take this point, now what is the basis for collection? I take a fixed distance. From this distance there is any point, I will collect that point. From this distance there is any point available, I will take that point. I will mark this point because it is at this distance. I will mark this point because it is at this distance. I will mark this point because it is at this distance. Now once you mark these points, and locus is nothing but join, and when you join the geometrical figure you get, you call that geometrical figure as circle. You call that geometrical figure as circle. Alright, so definition of circle I read, it is the locus of all the points, not all of them, only those points which satisfy the condition. It is the locus of all the points which are at fixed distance from a fixed point. Here fixed distance is called radius. Here the fixed distance is called radius, and fixed point is called center of circle. Is called center of circle. Similarly, radius of circle. Right. So this is a very, very simple definition of circle. All right. Now let us take a note. Let us take a note. The equation of circle with center A comma B and radius R is x minus a whole square plus y minus b whole square is equal to r square. This is the general note we have whenever the center is a comma b and the radius is r. Sir, how did you get this, sir? Very simple. I told you that there is a fixed point is a comma b, right? Now there is a fixed distance, this is called r. Now we have to collect all those points which are around this particular point and which are maintaining a distance of what? R units. So let us assume one of those points as P, x1, y1. Alright. Now what is the condition? Let me call this center as center C, right? So let P, x1, y1 be the point of locus. Means a variable point which moves with the condition that it maintains a fixed distance from this fixed point. So for every locus problem, what we have, we want a condition. What is the condition given to you? The condition is Cp is equal to R. The distance between P and C is equal to R. Now how do you find the distance between 2 points? The distance between 2 points is given by the formula x2 minus x1. Means it is x1 instead of this x2 minus x1 whole square, right? x1 minus a whole square plus y1 minus b whole square is equal to r. Squaring on both sides, you get x minus a whole square plus y1 minus b whole square is equal to r square. And since you are dealing with locus, for the generalization x1 y1 can be rewritten as x comma y, because locus, in order to find, we replace x1 y1 with x comma y, and therefore you get x minus a whole square, and instead of y, what will y1 you will write y minus b whole square is equal to r square is the equation of that particular point, or is the required locus, and hence you call that as equation of circle. So I repeat, when the center is a comma b and the radius is r, the equation of circle is x minus a whole square plus y minus b whole square is equal to r square. Means in order to find the equation of a circle, you require two things. One is center and one is radius in this scenario. Alright, so let us try to understand few more things. As to what a second degree general equation. Now, what is second degree general equation? I hope you remember in your elementary classes you have done what is a second degree general equation. I will tell you what a second degree general equation. Right? Second degree, I am not writing the full form, second degree non-homogeneous general equation, ax square plus 2hxy plus by square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0. Now many children, if I ask them this question, what does ax square plus 2hxy plus by square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0 represent? Most of the children will say, sir, it is the equation of pair of straight lines. Yes, it is the equation of pair of straight lines only when it satisfies few conditions. Otherwise it is just a second degree. Why? Because the highest degree is 2. Here the degree is 2. Here 1 plus 1 degree is 2. Here the degree is 2. Right? Highest degree is 2. Second degree non-homogeneous. Why non-homogeneous? Because degree 2 is not maintained everywhere. Here the degree is 2 in this part, here the degree is 1, and the constant contains 0 degree. That's why it is non-homogeneous. If the degree is same everywhere, it is called as homogeneous. So it is a second degree non-homogeneous general equation. So if this second degree non-homogeneous general equation satisfies some conditions, now let me write those conditions, then this will be called as pair of straight lines. And if this satisfies few other conditions, it will be called as circle. If it satisfies few other condition, it will be called as parabola. If it satisfies some other condition, it will be called as ellipse. Right? It will be satisfied with some other condition, it will be called as hyperbola. Right? Now this part and this part, together they are called as conic sections. That we will see later on. Right now you understand that all roads lead to Rome. Everywhere it is the same. It is a second degree non-homogeneous general equation. If it satisfies the condition, I hope you remember the condition. You know what was the condition for a pair of straight lines? Delta is equal to 0, h square greater than or equal to ab, g square greater than or equal to bc, f square greater than or equal to bc, and g square greater than or equal to AC, and f square greater than or equal to BC. When these 1, 2, 3, 4 conditions are satisfied, it was called as a pair of straight lines. And I hope you remember what is this delta indicating. Delta is nothing but ABC plus 2FGH minus AF square minus BG square minus CH square is equal to 0. Now this portion is called as delta. If this condition is satisfied along with these conditions, then that second degree non-homogeneous general equation will be called as equation of pair of straight lines. So that was you have done in your elementary classes. Now what are those conditions we need to know so that this equation becomes equation of circle. Now let me tell you, I will write the second degree non-homogeneous general equation, ax square plus 2hxy plus by square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0 represents a circle if, first condition, coefficient of x square. Children, it's a very important concept, and based on this you may get a VSAQ in the exam. Coefficient of x square is equal to coefficient of y square. The second one, coefficient of xy is equal to 0. Now what is coefficient of x square? Coefficient of x square is a is equal to 0. Sorry, a is equal to, what is the coefficient of y square? b. Now what is the coefficient of xy? Coefficient of xy is 2h. 2 can't be 0. So you will write in brackets h is equal to 0. Right? These two are the primary conditions. Third condition is g square plus f square minus AC has to be greater than or equal to 0. About this we will discuss later, but these are the two primary conditions that this particular second degree non-homogeneous general equation should satisfy to be called as an equation of circles. So I am sure you have understood this. Meanwhile, I will you can pause the video and copy this note, and we will go for the next concept, children. General equation of circle. So you have noted down what are the conditions which are required so that you can call a second degree non-homogeneous general equation as equation of circle. Quotient of x square is equal to quotient of y square and quotient of xy is equal to 0. Primary conditions. Now taking these two conditions primary, we are going to write the general form of circle or general equation of circle, right? General equation of circle, right? I'll write the equation x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0 is called general form of circle. Is called general form of circle. When I said circle, definitely two things you are interested. One is center and one is radius. So is called general form of circle with center minus g comma minus f. With center minus g comma minus f and radius r is equal to under root g square plus f square minus c. You remember the third point I was telling? Now you tell me radius is length. Length can be either greater than 0 or it will be equal to 0. That's why I wrote that as greater than or equal to 0, right? So this is radius which has to be greater or equal to 0, but it can't be negative. So this is called as general form of circle, and when it is in the general form, then the center is x, minus g comma minus f and the radius is this. Not in every form. Now what do you mean by general form? Coefficient of an x square and y square should be equal. You have satisfied the first condition. And is there any xy term together? There is no xy term, right? So quotient of xy is 0. At the same time, the quotient of an x square and y square should be equal to 1. Only then it is called as general form. And when it is general form, when it is in general form, then the center is minus g comma minus f. Not for all the circles. So whenever a circle is given to you, check whether the given circle is in general form or not. If it is given like 2x square plus 2y square plus something is equal to 0, you have to divide the equation by 2, then you will get x square plus y square plus something is equal to 0. You have converted that into general form. Once it is converted into general form, then you can compare the center as minus g comma minus f, then you can compare the radius as root of g square plus f square minus c. Not in all the cases. So make sure that it is in the standard form or general form. So this is the general form of circle satisfying both the conditions. Now let us try to understand one more important thing, that if this circle center is on x-axis, if the center of the above equation of the above circle, if the center of the above circle is on x-axis, see children, any point on x-axis is of the form a comma 0, means y coordinate will be 0. So center is on x-axis, means f part will become 0. So if this f part is equal to 0, if the center of the above circle is on x-axis, then its equation is x square plus y square plus 2gx plus c is equal to 0. There won't be f part. If the center of above circle is on y-axis, if it is on y-axis, any point on y-axis is of the form 0 comma b. Any point on x-axis a comma 0. Here y coordinate was 0. If it is on y-axis, x coordinate is 0. So the center is on y-axis, means x coordinate becomes 0. Means g is equal to 0. I will say then its equation is x square plus y square plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0. Right? Not to be forgotten important points. Now let us say our circle, it is, instead of having center on x-axis, our circle is cutting x-axis like this, right? Now when it is cutting x-axis, definitely it makes an intercept of some length on x-axis. Now this length is called x-intercept. This length is called what? X-intercept. Means it is a length made by circle on x-axis. Length made by the circle on x-axis. So x-intercept of the circle is given by the formula 2 into root of g square minus c. If the equation of the circle is x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0. See, every time I say if the equation of circle is this, then x-intercept length is what? 2 into root of g square minus c. Of course, definitely everything will be under modulus. And what is y-intercept length? It is 2 into root of f square minus c. 2 into root of f square minus c. Now, you may wonder, what is y-intercept? Y-intercept is nothing but like this. It cuts a length of some units on y-axis, and if you wish to find this length, you have to use this formula. If you wish to find this length, you have to find this formula. Now there is something beyond this also going to happen, right? I'm sure you are pausing the video and copying the notes. So we'll go to the next concept of, if this circle, instead of marking some length, if the circle touches x-axis, what will be the scenario? Imagine, instead of making some length, the circle, this particular circle is moving above, just like a moon, it goes move above. When it moves above, what happens to this length? Automatically the lengths will get reduced. So if the circle touches x-axis, if our circle touches x-axis, then length of x-intercept, if the circle touches x-axis, length of x-intercept will be 0. What is length of x-intercept formula? 2 into root of g square minus c is equal to 0. 2 cannot be 0. Obviously, g square minus c is equal to 0 means g is equal to root c. So remember, whenever the circle touches x-axis, the condition is g is equal to root c. Similarly, if our circle touches y-axis, can you guess what is the condition? Condition is what? F is equal to root c. When the circle touches y-axis, the condition is f is equal to root c, because obviously length of y-intercept is equal to 0. You again find the similar way, you will get f is equal to root c. And what if my circle touches both the axes? What if my circle touches both the axes? Means this is my circle, right? If my circle touches both the axes, what is going to happen? You will write g is equal to root c, you will write f is equal to root c. Alright, and the center will be root c comma root c. See children, when I say root of 25 will hold two values, plus or minus 5. So when you write root c, after result you may get two values, and this value will be positive and this value will be positive if it is in first quadrant. Is it not? If it is in second quadrant, scenario is different. So please try to remember, when the circle touches both the axes, the condition is g is equal to root c, f is equal to root c, center is root c comma root c, and the radius will also be equal to root c. Now let me explain to you, if this circle is in different quadrants touching x-axis and y-axis, how the scenario will be. Okay, let me draw it for you. If the circle is like this, and this is my x coordinate, x-axis, and this is my y-axis. Let us imagine our circle is here. 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 Now here, if the center is touching both the axes, center will be root c comma root c. In all the cases, the radius is root c. All right. In all the cases, the radius is root c. Radius is root c. Only the center will change. Here the center is root c comma root c. Now this is on the second quadrant. Center will be minus root c comma root c. Here center will be minus root c comma minus root c. Here the center will be plus root c comma minus root c. In all the cases, the radius is root c. In all the cases, radius is root c. Radius is root c. And that's how the center will change based on the quadrant in which the circle is going to touch. And also you can write the equation of circle touching both the coordinates as x square plus y square plus or minus 2 root c x plus or minus 2 root c y plus c is equal to 0. Alright, so plus or minus 2 2's are 4 combinations you will get. Now which combination is where? Let me explain to you. If it is in first quadrant, then the equation of circle will be, I will write here, then the equation of circle will be x square plus y square minus 2 root cx minus 2 root cy plus c is equal to 0. If the circle is in first quadrant and if it touches both x-axis and y-axis, the equation is this. And if the circle is in third quadrant, then the equation of circle will be x square plus y square plus 2 root cx plus 2 root cy plus c is equal to 0. If it is in third quadrant touching both x-axis and y-axis. Now the remaining, I want you to do the guesswork and write, and meanwhile you can pause the video, draw the diagram, copy it down. We'll go for the next concept, children. Alright. Yes, children. You have copied, no? Point circle. Now what is point circle? Very simple concept. This is a circle with definitely some radius. Now I will reduce the radius. What is happening to this when I reduce this? It is coming down, down. Ultimately, the radius is shrinking and it will end at a point. So what happens to the radii? Radii becomes 0. So what do you mean by point circle? Point circle is a circle with center as a point, and radius equal to 0. So if I'll say equation of point circle with a comma b as a center, what can be that? What can be that? It can be x minus a whole square plus y minus b whole square is equal to, instead of r square I will write 0 square. So what does this represent? It represents a point circle. Alright, so make sure, apart from that, if I say, if the center is 0 comma 0, right, you already had radius is r, center is a comma b, and the equation of circle is x minus e whole square plus y minus b whole square is equal to r square. That was your first definition. And if the center is 0 comma 0 with some radius r, the equation of circle will be x square plus y square is equal to r square. Alright, and at origin if I want to find the point circle, means radius is 0, a is 0, b is 0, and equation of circle will be x square plus y square is equal to 0. This is called as point circle at origin. This is called as equation of any circle with center as origin and radius as r. Anyhow, that is not that much important. So you need to know what point circle is. Now once you have understood what point circle is, can you see, students, what are these? These are called concentric circles. So let me explain to you what do you mean by concentric circles, right? So what is happening to all these circles? You are seeing that the radius is changing but center is remaining fixed. So what are concentric circles? Circles having same center. But different radii. Radius is singular, radii is plural, right? So circles having same center but different radii are called concentric circles. Now this is the definition part, but there is something beyond this also. Suppose I want to write the equation of a circle. I'll write equation of, this is a note, we know that equation of any circle concentric to x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0. The equation of any circle concentric to x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0 is x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus k is equal to 0. Right? So what do you understand by this? Concentric circles, they differ by constant. Concentric circle, they always differ by constant, just like your parallel lines. Parallel lines also, they differ by same constant. Their homogeneous part is same. The dealing with x and y, the part is same, but the constant will be different. Similarly, the concentric circles will also differ by constant. So for this circle, equation of any circle concentric to it will be, just replace c with k. So I am sure you understood the concept of concentric circles. Now apart from that, there is one more concept of concyclic circles also. It may not be that much important. Maybe a 7 marks question is based on that. What do you mean by? So one is a point circle, concentric circle, and one more is concyclic points. Now this is in relation to points. Now if I take this point, and this point, and this point, if I am able to draw a circle, I can see 3 points are lying on the circle, the 4th one is not lying. I will try my best from this side. Here the 3 points are lying, not possible. I am trying from this side, not possible. But it may so happen, I may have this point, this point, this point, and this point. Now all these 4 points, for the 4 points lie on the circle, then those points are called as what? Concyclic points. So what do you mean by the concyclic point? If the given points lie on the circle, then they are called what? Then they are called concyclic, then they are called concyclic points. All right, and let me tell you, 3 points will be always concyclic. Note, this is also very important. 3 points will be always concyclic. You must have seen the figure prior to that. Through 3 points I am always able to draw a circle, but when 4th point was there, I had some difficulty. Not all of them, few of them only will be concyclic. So note, always 3 points, any 3 points are always concyclic, right? 3 points are always concyclic. If the 4th point also is concyclic, then it has to satisfy the given equation of the circle. Means what I am going to do in the examination, he will be giving you 3 points. Let us say 4 points, A, B, C and D. He will give you 4 points. He will ask you to prove that the given points are concyclic. What are you going to do? You are going to find the equation of circle passing through any 3 points. I will take A, B and C. So I will find the equation of circle passing through A, B, C. Once I will get the equation, I will substitute the 4th point. If the 4th point satisfies, then you will declare that the given points are concyclic. If it does not satisfy, it is non-concyclic. So I am sure you are clear with it. And more very important, many children, if the given points lie, we neglect sometimes. This is the most important part. You have to write on the circle, because it makes some sense. If I write a circle and put a point here, this is called on the circle, and if I write the point here, that is called in the circle. So use the word very carefully, whether it is on the circle or whether it is in the circle. So use those definitions very clearly. Meanwhile, you can pause the video and copy this. I will go for the next concept. Equation of circle with x1 y1 and x2 y2 as end points of diameter, is x minus x1 into x minus x2 plus y minus y1 into y minus y2 is equal to 0. Right? What is this? This is the equation of the circle you will find when end points of the diameter are given to you. Say this is a circle. For this circle, these two are the end points and this is the diameter. Now how can you say it is a diameter? I must mention that this is the center, passing through center. Always remember, diameter is the biggest chord which passes through center. And how many such diameters you can draw? Infinite diameters can be drawn. This is one diameter, second, third, fourth. Many diameters can be drawn. Right. So if A is given as x1, y1, end point, B is given as x2, y2, end point. These two are the end points of the diameter. Then the equation of circle will be x minus x1 into x minus x2, x minus x1 into x minus x2 plus y minus y1 into y minus y2 is equal to 0. Right. So like this you can find the equation of circle. Now let us try to understand what do you mean by parametric equation of the circle. Parametric equation of circle whose center is a comma b and radius is r. Right? The parametric equation of circle whose center is a comma b and radius is r is given as x is equal to a plus r cos theta and y is equal to b plus r sin theta. These two equations together, they are called as parametric equations of the circle. Now let me tell you, when center a comma b and radius r is given to you, what is the equation of circle? X minus a whole square plus y minus b whole square is equal to r square. This is the equation of circle. Now you had problems done in your elementary classes. Eliminate theta. In your trigonometry you must have done. Eliminate theta. Let us say if I eliminate theta, what I am going to get? I am going to get the equation of a curve. You have got it in the previous classes. And what that curve will be? Check here. I can write this as x minus a is equal to r cos theta. Y minus b is equal to r sin theta. I will say square and add. When I square and add, what will I get? X minus a whole square plus y minus b whole square. What is this? R square cos square theta, r square sin square theta. Ultimately I will write x minus a whole square plus y minus b whole square is equal to r square common, cos square theta plus sin square theta will be equal to 1. Is it not our equation, my children? So in fact, this equation was obtained with the parametric equation only. Alright, so please remember x is equal to a plus r cos theta and y is equal to b plus r sin theta is called parametric equation of the circle only when the center is a comma b and radius is r. Tomorrow if the center is minus g comma minus f, then I will write x is equal to minus g plus r cos theta and minus f plus r sin theta. Please remember that. Right, next you have to understand, if this is the parametric equation of circle, then a plus r cos theta comma b plus r sin theta is called parametric point. What is it called as? Parametric point. Parametric point means what? Any general point on the circle. For any circle with center a comma b and radius r, you can call this point p as what? Parametric point. Any point, right? So this is also a very very important concept. You get VSCQ questions based on this. I want you to pause the video. Meanwhile, we'll go for the next concept of notation. Alright, so let us move forward. Notation, right? I'm sure you must have copied the previous thing. Now this notation is very very important, because here afterwards any formula I want to refer, I will use this notation only, right? And you will get confused. So make sure that you are attending and practicing this notation very sincerely. Now what I'm trying to tell you is, if S is represented by x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c. You know that there is the equation of circle. Then, right, then S1 will be x1 plus y1 plus g into x plus x1 plus f into y plus y1 plus c. What is this, sir? For S1, whenever the degree is 2, it should be split into product format. If the degree is 1, it should be split into sum format. That you remember. What will be S2? It will be x1 x2, sorry, x2 plus y2 plus g into x plus x2 plus f into y plus y2 plus c. Right? When I write the suffix here, this part you will write. But if I write both S1 2, then how you are going to write? It will be x1 x2 plus y1 y2 plus g into x1 plus x2 plus f into y1 plus y2 plus c. This is called S12. It indicates, because tomorrow I may refer simply equation of so and so is S12 is equal to 0. You have to remember this. Alright. And if I write S11, means 2 is becoming 1. If 2 is becoming 1, instead of 2 you will write 1. Again, 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 plus c. So what do I have? S11. x1 into x1 is x1 square plus y1 square. x1 plus x1 is 2x1. 2x1 into g is 2gx1. y1 plus y1 is 2y1. So it is 2f y1 plus c. So S11 is equal to x1 square plus y1 square plus 2gx1 plus 2f y1 plus c. This and this. These three are most frequently used notations for the equation of circle to be assumed as S is equal to x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2f5 plus c is equal to 0. Alright. So I want you to meanwhile pause the video, go through, and then we'll go for the next concept. Alright, children. The equation of, now why that notation is used, we will come to know. The equation of tangent at, see these at, of, on, in are very important, please don't neglect. The equation of tangent at point x1 y1, I will say p x1 y1 to the circle s is equal to 0. You know what is s is equal to? Is s1 is equal to 0. What is s1 is equal to 0? Notation. So this is how the things are to you in future. The equation of tangent at point x1 y1 to the circle s is equal to 0 is s1 is equal to 0. But we have forgotten to give the definition of tangent only. Can you tell me what a tangent is? What a tangent is, right? Now there is a line. I will draw what a tangent is, right? Many students will say a tangent is a line touching the circle at a point. Now this is also a line touching the circle at a point. Will you call that as a tangent? No, right? But certainly, since it is touching here, it is closed. It is becoming a segment. Alright. Whereas this is a ray. It has no starting point. It has no ending point. So the definition of tangent, no doubt, is the line which touches. You have to use the word line, not line segment. It is a line, continuous line, right? Extended both ways. It is a line touching the circle at one point. At one point is called tangent of a circle. Now that is not appropriate definition. There is another definition, but before that, let me tell you, if the circle cuts, the circle has been cut by a line, right? Please try to understand that there is a difference between this and there is a difference between this. Now this is called chord joining 2 points, whereas this is a line cutting the circle in 2 distinct points, and a line cutting the circle in 2 distinct points is called secant. So before I move to the definition of tangent, you must always know what is the definition of secant. Secant is a line cutting the circle at two distinct points, right? 2 distinct points. Now what happens if there is a line cutting the circle at 2 distinct points? If the line is brought down, it is still cutting the point at 2 distinct points. If the line is brought down, now what happens to this distance? These 2 distinct points are coming closer and closer, and when it comes down, they lie on one another, and that becomes tangent. So the definition of tangent should be rather limiting point or limiting point of secant of a circle. Limiting point of secant of a circle is called tangent. But for all practical purposes, we simply say a line touching the circle at a point. So this line is also touching a circle at a point. So there becomes a complex. So make sure that you understand what secant is. A secant is a line cutting the circle at 2 distinct points, and that secant will become tangents if 2 distinct points are not distinct but they become unique point. That secant becomes tangent. So you write limiting point of secant of a circle or limiting position of secant of a circle is called tangent. That is the correct definition of tangent, and this is the equation of tangent when circle equation is given to you and point is given to you. Remember, I have told at point. What do you mean by that? There is a circle S is equal to 0. At this point, if I want to find the equation of circle, I will say it is S1 is equal to 0. Now you may ask me, sir, why are you so stressing on at this point? See, you can draw how many tangents? You can draw infinite tangents. You can draw to a circle, because there are infinite points. At every point I can draw a tangent. But if the point is outside the circle, if the point is on the circle, you can draw so many tangents. If the point is outside the circle, you can draw a tangent from this side, you can draw a tangent from this side. So is this point on the circle? No. So you are not supposed to use the word at. Now you will say equation of tangent from this point to this. That is how the definition is. So you please remember the definition of the tangent and this notation. The equation of tangent at point x1, y1 to the circle S is equal to 0 is S1 is equal to 0. Now we will move forward and try to understand. I'll try to understand what length of tangent is. What length of tangent is. Suppose I'll say length of tangent. Length of tangent. Let me define what length of tangent is. From this point I draw a tangent, right? And this is touching at this point. And you know what is this point called as? Point of contact. What is definition of point of contact? Point of contact of a tangent is nothing but the point where the tangent meets a circle. Point where the tangent meets a circle. So this is called point of contact. This is point P from where you are drawing a tangent. Let me call this as Q. Now this length, my dear children, from where you are drawing the tangent to the point where it touches the circle, this length is called length of tangent. How do I define? The definition of length of tangent is, you may note it down, the definition of length of tangent is, it is the distance between the point from where the tangent is drawn to the point where tangent touches the circle. It is a distance from a point where the tangent is drawn to the point where tangent touches the circle. This is called length of tangent, and that length of tangent for the circle S is equal to 0 from a point, not at a point, from a point x1 y1 is under root s11. What is it called as? Under root s11. That is called length of tangent. So what is the definition of the formula? The length of tangent from point x1 y1. Let me write for you. Length of tangent from point x1 y1 to circle s is equal to 0 is under root s11. I am sure you will remember this, right? Now if I move forward for the concept, after the length of tangent there is something called as power of a point. All right. Now if x1 y1 is any point and s is equal to 0 is equation of circle, then S11 is called power of point. See, what is S? S is the equation. What is S11? You are substituting the point in the equation. When you substitute the point in the equation, there are three possibilities. You may get a value equal to 0, you may get a value less than 0, or you may get a value more than 0. Now what is going to happen, right? So I write this is called power of point. If x1 y1 is any point and s is equal to 0 is the equation of circle, then S11 is called power of point. And if S11 is less than 0, S11 is equal to 0, S11 is greater than 0, what is going to happen? If S11 is less than 0, you will say point lies inside the circle. And if S11 is equal to 0, you will say point lies on the circle. And if x1 y1 is greater than 0, point lies outside the circle. Right? So I want you to pause the video and note this concept so that we can go with one more simple concept. All right, so here it is. Equation of chord. See, this is all based on notation only. Equation of chord joining points A, x1 y1 and B, x2 y2 on the circle s is equal to 0 is s1 plus s2 is equal to s12. Right? This is only for notation format. In few problems it is used. Now what does it mean? Always try to draw the figure and understand what does it mean. There is a point A, x1 y1 and there is a point B, x2 y2. If the equation of circle is s is equal to 0, then how do you find the equation of AB? Pause. When 2 points are given to you, you can directly find 2-point form. What is 2-point form? Y minus y1 is equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1 into x minus x1. Right? Through 2-point form you can get the equation of this chord directly. But if I want to involve circle and get the equation of the chord, if I want to involve that circle and get the equation of chord when 2 points are given to you, the formula is S1 plus S2 is equal to S12. Practically speaking, there is no requirement when 2 points are given to you. But if I want to involve the circle, then you have to use it in this way. So, equation of chord joining points x1 and x2 y2 to the circle s is equal to 0 is S1 plus S2 is equal to S12. Now, let us try to understand what point of contact we have already discussed, what a normal is. Right. So children, you have understood what tangent is. What is a normal? Normal is a line. Perpendicular to tangent. Right? Perpendicular to tangent. Again, this is the half definition. Many children will say, what is normal? It is a line perpendicular to tangent. No, it is only a half definition. Because if this is a circle and I have this is tangent, right? It is touching here. What did you say? Normal is a line perpendicular to tangent. So I draw a perpendicular here. Do you think it is a normal? Do you think this is normal? Do you think it is normal? Do you think this is a normal? Do you think this is normal? Not all of them can be normal. Any one of them is normal. So you have to continue the definition further. Normal is a line perpendicular to tangent at the point of contact. So that is very important. At this point of contact, what is point of contact? A line where tangent touches the circle. That is called point of contact. At this point of contact, if I want to draw the equation of normal or if I want to draw the normal, it should be perpendicular. So line perpendicular to tangent at the point of contact is called normal. So this is what is the definition. And there is some important characteristics also. Normal of a circle, normal of a circle always passes through its center. Normal of a circle always passes through its center. Wherever you take, suppose I take a tangent here. Here I draw a normal, it passes through center. I take a tangent here. Here I draw a normal, it will pass through center. Normal of a circle always passes through its center. And if I ask you, what is the equation of normal at x1, y1 to circle x square plus y square is equal to r square? What is x square plus y square is equal to r square? Simple circle, because the center is 0, 0. So normal of a circle, normal of a at a point to the circle x square plus y square is equal to r square is x1 minus y1 is equal to r square. That can be defined, but you can remember this, and always remember that normal always passes through its center, right? And where is a normal drawn? Normal is drawn at the point of contact. Very important, because you may get in future questions based on normal, right? So children, this is the concept, and this is our first part. We are trying to see or few more concepts related to polar, chord of contact, any other issues are there which we'll try to cover in our second part. Meanwhile, I want you to practice this and try to understand, draw figures and try to do problems based on this. The more you practice, the more perfect you will be in the concept. The more concept you read, the more problems you can do. So it's a deadlock situation, and where to enter? Anywhere you can enter, but you must keep doing it again and again. It's only then you will get the grip on the subject. So my children, make sure that you work hard. It's only the hard work which pays a lot, right? Thank you. God bless you. Take care and bye-bye.